Good morning. Today is March the 27th, 2022, and I'm driving the new Tata Altroz DCA. This is Tata's first dual clutch in their entire lineup. But before we start off, I'll try and explain dual clutch and AMT and CVTs. Now, all of these are basically different types of automatic transmissions. Now, in a traditional dual clutch, you have two gear shafts or two shafts, one for odd gears and one for even numbered gears. Now, Tata Motors has got a planetary gear system on this car. Now, they say this has been done to reduce the cost of the dual clutch. Now, I had to do a bit of reading up over here, and it's quite complicated, but a planetary gear, how do you explain a planetary gear if you're not an engineer? But basically what Tata Motors has been able to do with a planetary gear at the start of the system has been able to split each gear ratio into two. So this is actually a 6-speed dual clutch, which is quite unique because dual clutches by their very nature have to have an odd number of forward gears. So what Tata Motors has done over here is fairly unique. So let's see how the car drives, because as they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So let's get going. So we are at one of my favorite locations to shoot in Delhi, which is the Lodi Art District. It sort of proves that ugly government housing can be beautified by amazing street art. I bring a lot of cars here to shoot. It's a really nice part of Delhi. And it's free, so you just can drive around here, take a look at some of the art. This behind me is a picture by Aaron Lee Hill, which reads over here, let me just read it out to you. Nature's arc and visions of altered landscapes. So you got polar bears, you got guys in masks. It's weird. These are all, this area is showing a lot of climate change street art, and they've painted up these entire walls. It's really nice, and it's a really nice part of Delhi. And I've got the Altroz DCA, as I spoke about in the introductory video. Now let me get to explaining about the car. So we are right now in Defense Colony, and I'd like to talk about how I feel about this car as a driving machine. This is a unique type of dual clutch automatic, this planetary gear system that Tata is using, and I really have to read up a bit more about this. There's not all that much information on the internet, other than a couple of companies that might have developed this system. And one of the things that becomes apparent when you start reading up about this is that the companies that talk about this planetary gear dual clutch system talk about how it is going to compete for costs with a AMT transmission. This definitely feels smoother than an AMT. Of that, there is no doubt. It definitely does change at regular speeds, like I'm driving right now. I'm driving inside a locality, and I'm driving at about between 25 and 30 kilometers an hour. So obviously, gear changes from first to second to third over here are extremely smooth. There is little or no gear shift shock. There is actually no shift shock, to be very honest. I'm having to brake. There are cycle rickshaws inside colonies over here. And when I'm accelerating like this, it's very, very smooth. Much smoother than an AMT. However, when I go onto high-speed roads, and I've been on a few high-speed roads today, such as the Meerut Expressway, where at times, particularly when you have kickdown, right? When you're merging onto a high-speed road, you floor the accelerator. It's a high-speed road inside the city's speed limit is 70 kilometers an hour. You floor the accelerator, and the car sort of is a bit lost for a few seconds. I won't say a few seconds. It feels like a few seconds, but it's not. It feels like an AMT in that case. Everything is, of course, drive-by-wire, gear shift-by-wire. Everything is computerized nowadays. So it doesn't feel wrong. It just feels a bit lost. And you don't get the dual clutch feel that you would get on a regular dual clutch transmission like you get on the Hyundai Kia cars. That is the i20, the Sonnet, the Venue, and so on and so forth. It definitely feels much more evolved than the AMT. But what sort of economy have I got? Now, I got this car with about 10.5 kilometers per liter economy, so I haven't really been able to. I should have reset it, I did not. But I'd be calculating the amount I have driven. I'm getting about 12 and a half to 13. If you gave me the car for a longer period of time, I would probably manage to get this down to 15 to 16, depending on traffic. Not bad at all. I still think the Altroz looks very nice. I think the Tata Motors does many things very, very well. This is a very good looking car, and you see quite a few on the roads nowadays. We'll talk about Tata's other issues, of course, later. But it's a nice car to drive, and by getting this system, Tata is showing that they're also trying to be innovative with engineering. Now, whether this will work or not, I mean, Tata is saying this has got a self-cleaning system, so a lot of problems with dual clutch systems in India, and particularly Skoda suffered from this in the early days with the early Octavias and the early Superbs, was that the dust, and we live in a dusty country, as our air pollution stats indicate, can get into the gear systems and clog them up. So we are told that this has a self-cleaning system. It'll be interesting to see how this car evolves and how it ages. You can possibly make out how this silver is a bit very reflective under high and harsh sunlight. So this is something I think Tata Motors will need to address fairly quickly, because we do get very harsh sunlight in India. It's only the end of March right now, but by mid-April, early May, sunlight is very harsh, and it's a good position. The only thing in the competition, which could be the Baleno AMT, is very, very aggressively priced. The Baleno AMT also is extremely economical, as I showed in my review, where I drove through Goa and I got fantastic mileage on that car. With fuel prices going up again, they've risen almost 3 rupees in the last week so far. And today is the 27th of March 2022 recording date. You're watching this a few days after that because of embargoes and all. Fuel economy is going to become an increasingly important thing, but automatics of today are far, far superior to automatics of yesteryear when it comes to fuel economy. Really nice car to drive. Couple of things, as I've said, they've not done very nicely. They could have put more USB ports. I don't like this silver finish, but all in all, a very nice car, and kudos to Tata Motors. I mean, they've really, really come a long way. I said that about the Tiago iCNG. I've said it about every other Tata car I've been driving of late. What a fantastic job they've been doing. Honestly, I think it's a pity that the Tata Punch didn't win more awards this year, and the Mahindra XUV 700 took them all. That's a fantastic car, but the Tata Punch proves that safety, at least safety ratings, do not have to be the preserve of expensive vehicles. So yeah, if you go out there and choose the Altroz over the competition, go for it. I mean, the competition might come slightly better equipped, but this is a perfectly nice car to drive. It's perfectly good fun. It actually handles superbly, and it's a very, very attractive car. So thank you so much for watching. Do let me know your thoughts on what you thought about this particular video. I've been a bit repetitive, I think, at times. So your thoughts are always welcome. Do subscribe to this channel. It really does help. And if you give me my feedback more often, we'll set up a sort of Discord server sooner or later, where you guys can give me suggestions of what you think and what you feel what I should be talking about on my reviews, and trying to make them different from other stuff. I should be starting a column very soon on a new online platform. I'll keep you posted about that. We'll be writing slightly differently, not just writing about car reviews, but talking about automotive issues much deeper than just reviews. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your viewership, and yeah, till the next video. See you soon.